Hey guys, welcome back to Kingdom 360 with your host, the Grand Inquisitor Zane Venturi. Now, today's in-car vlog, we're going to be talking about the subject of fear. And it's a pretty heavy topic, and it's a very expansive topic as well. But I think we just covered the topic quite, try to compress it down into a shorter space of time as possible just for the in-car vlogs that we do. The whole thing about fear that I've realized is as we're growing up in this Western cultural society, we've always, what is fear? Fear, the constraint of something we're scared of. And ultimately, the whole concept of fear and the emotions associated with fear is the construct of our own mindset and the way we think. So we're always taught to be move away or shy away from fear or what we think we're scared of. Now, with Kingdom 360, the way we look at fear, unless it's life threatening, unless the fear is actually life threatening, then, we need not worry. But we need to tackle it within ourselves to overcome. I don't use the word fear unless it's unless it's life threatening. It's not fear. It's an obstacle that's giving you an strong emotional impulse, a sensation, a feeling. Um, Ultimately, people are afraid of many things. Um, and it causes an emotional reaction within us, and we tend to turn or move the other way. But if we try to break it down, what is causing that fear? Some kind of childhood trauma and so forth. If we try to break it down and realize we're not going to lose a limb over it or anything like that, it just gives us a place of uncertainty within us, or the essence of uncertainty. I mean, ultimately, our very existence is certain and uncertain at the same time. We know that we're alive, but at any one point in time we could die, right? So going back to fear, fear is just a massive label that society has placed on things. I mean, some people are afraid of picking up the phone and talking to an authoritarian figure and so forth. And we just got to look at it. Look, we're not gonna die. It's gonna cause us a degree of unpleasantness because we're not used to whatever task we're about to do. And to gain strength, we need to get into the habit of indulging in the things we fear the most and not run away from them. So we need to get into a practice of indulgence and being able to combat whatever negative emotions that are the construct of our own minds. Remember, construct. We construct what we are scared of and what we're not. Don't get me wrong. You throw me into a tank full of sharks or a lion's cage, I'm going to be concerned for my life. But other things in life that cause us uncertainty, we need to jump in there. Unless it's life threatening or detrimental, some kind of detrimental loss, like you may lose your house or your finances, that's a whole different ball game. But many things we're scared of. I mean, one of my little pet concerns at one point was I'm living in the UK. I was once given a Hummer to drive in London itself, and it was left-hand drive. It was an enormous vehicle, and it was left-hand drive. And at the time, the vehicle was very, very expensive, so it would have given me, had I scratched that car or damaged the car, it would have been of a great financial loss to me. However, I thought to myself, listen, we need to overcome this. If other people can do it, so could I, and others. And what does it say to me that if I could overcome this? I mean, we're just giving a small example. So I got into this vehicle that I wasn't even used to. I almost reversed into another car because I didn't know there was another car behind me, but he managed to honk his horn, and you know, I was like, ooh, couldn't see anything out the back. Realised it was calm. He moved that way, and driving it around within 20 minutes, it, driving it like I've driven it all my life. But the anticipation of uncertainty, I mean, it's natural human response. Things that are uncertain make us feel uncomfortable and we run away. No, we need to embrace. We need to embrace. We need to get in there, and these emotions that we're going through, you know, we need to absorb until we come out the other end where we've met a natural conclusion, where we've conquered that emotion. I think it's a bad word, fear. Fear gets a bad rap. I mean, I think life-threatening, detrimental things we can associate with fear. We need to call this a level of uncomfortable, uncomfort, unease, where we need to jump in and overcome, and that's how we get strong and our inner core gets strong. When we handle difficulty, we need to be always challenge ourselves with difficulty. Then you become, well, a boss. You handle things like a boss then, and and that's how we're going to move in life and how we're going to develop and move forwards in life. We need to handle things like a boss, deal with uncomfortable things. A lot of things on an emotional ain't going to kill us, but the emotions are such that it feels like the onset of death, and we need to really, really overpower these strong emotions and get our mind stuck into it and gain control. Ultimately, fear resides in the mind, what we call the limbic system, which is like the reptilian brain. And this is the part of the brain that deals with fight or flight. And sometimes certain things can trigger it, and we get into a panic and so forth. What we need to do is move away from that and understand what's going on inside our heads and deal with it with the other part of the brain, which is the frontal lobes or the cortex that deals with reasoning and so forth. And through that, your mind will grow and you'll become empowered. And it is so vital for us to become empowered. It's so vital to know ourselves, the construct of how we work and how we think, and change it and optimize it to become that truer, stronger person. And that's it for now, guys. And I'd like you guys to subscribe, and if you can, support the channels by watching all the adverts all the way through, and click on any commercial links that are there. And this is just to help Kingdom 360 on its ongoing quest to help people on the web and in other ways as well. So I thank you, and I'll be seeing you in the future.